I want to know about Bryan Kohberger's connection to the Idaho 4. So with that, we're just going to dig right in. I'm using Threads of Fate. It's the Rose edition. It's a couple years old. What is the connection to the Idaho 4? Think about it. The killer had to have, that was interesting, the outlaw. Are you shitting me? Look at that. These can be hard to see. They are gold foiled. So depending, they can turn all black. So I'm hoping that you can see this. The outlaw. Oh, are you shitting me? Y'all, I don't normally swear, but look. I mean, I do once in a while. So this is not for kids. The subject matter is for adults. The knife in the boot. Now he's a Scorpio. This is a fish knife, which is a water sign. So that would have told us a little bit more. And look at the mountains. Do you see the mountains? So what does that mean? How, my chair is stuck. Hold on. How do the mountains, outlaw, the knife all come together as a connection? This is going to be an interesting read. I hope you will stay with me. I'm going to come up to top side because we are live. And if you're watching replay, you can just jump ahead if you want till you see me shuffling cards again. All right, my beautifuls, let's see what's going on over in chat, which I completely lost. There it is. There it is. Well, hello, Kelly. How are you? I just read on CSO. Kaylee had a couple of dates with Bryan. I want to know how true that is. I find that hard to believe. Well, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do the reading, and I'm going to let what comes out comes out. That way, we're getting the story the way it's supposed to be told. And hopefully it'll answer some questions. If we start seeing certain things, it might lead us different directions. So, hey, Joan Atkinson, congratulations, love. I can't wait to get that out to you tomorrow. It is the GoPro winner, Joan Atkins. Congratulations and Happy New Year to all my beautiful 11 family. Apparently, we're not quite direct with, any energies here. I can't talk. Anna Rivera, hello, family, blessings, and hello, 2023. Happy 2023. Jill, writing solo. Hello, Deborah and Holler Girl. Donna, Lorna, Pamela. All right, my beautifuls, hello to all of you. Now, I want to understand this outlaw a little better. On the bottom of this deck, now this is called the 1111 Mystery Deck, and I am a self-sponsor. So you can get this deck at www.1111moon.com. It is a PDF download. Just like you would get any file, you will download that file onto your phone and take it to whatever printing place that you like, and they can print it for you, or download it on your home computer and print it right at home. And you can get that fairly cheap. You will love it. You will love it. You really will. It took me about a year to make. Okay, the outlaw. This boot. The knife. And it's weird because even though I sense a feminine energy with the boot, I don't know if it's how snug it is at the ankle. I sense it. The outlaw. Kaylee was into true crime, I heard from the parents. Let's use, okay, we're going to take those cards. Definitely about legal system. Prison, locked away, trapped, held. So it's got a 4 on it, like kept away from, right? Putting a distance between them. And it does say prison, interesting enough, kind of predicting, well, not predicting because we know he's already going to prison. Well, maybe you could see it as a prediction, right? going to prison for the 4 homicides. He felt like he was the outlaw, the outsider. He felt outside of things, outside of the norm. This is interesting. I got the money card. Doesn't have to be actual money, but it is an exchange of something. Payment or cash. Did one of them buy something from him? Or did he buy something from them? What kind of exchange is the connection, and who is it with? So let's go off of those cards right there and figure out through the energies of our different victims as to understanding what that money card is and what that prison card is, okay? And this outlaw, because he was an outlaw in the mountains with a knife. Is that telling us that he's got the knife in the mountains? See it right here in the boot? Wouldn't there be something if he took an old boot, put the knife inside of it, buried it out somewhere in the mountains? All right. Let's go with this prison. All right. Locked away, trapped, held. Locked away, trapped, held, prison. How is this a connection to the idahofour? How, well, he is incarcerated. Is it because he's already incarcerated? I mean, that would be an understatement. He's in solitary confinement in a suicide vest, I believe. Are these the cards? It was building the story. All right. So we're asking the connection between Bryan and the idahofour. I want to understand, we have a number of cards here. I want to understand one at a time. So we're going to go first with Ethan. All right. Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is seeing somebody as stable, seeing them as in their power. This is a feminine energy. He might have been jealous of Ethan because of Xana. Okay. So he may not have been that focused on Ethan either. Just Xana. That Queen of Pentacles, it's somebody that knows their worth. It's somebody well established. They know what they're doing. They're growing up. They're maturing. They're in their own power. They're embracing their energy. And they all were. Okay. Let me see Xana's energy with this. Protection, strength card. Remember, she was having her locks changed? She was strengthening her protection. She sensed something. She sensed something is what I get. Like, just not intuitively only, but logically, her locks are getting changed. Let me understand Maddie's energy connecting to Bryan. Not so cool. I got Temperance. Kind of like oil and water. Not mixing it up real good. Like not a match. Archangel Michael card. Sagittarius energy. She was a Gemini. He's a Scorpio. It's weird we get a fire sign in between them. They could have fire in their chart, though. Let me understand Kaylee's energy and connection. Well, and you could see this as drinking. Moderation, right? Where he drank with Maddie before. but it didn't feel good. Something didn't feel right. Kind of like privileged woman feel like he was not happy. Now let's get into Kaylee's energy. Aha. It even looks like Kaylee a little bit. Poppies. Flowers. Page of Wands is somebody new. Phallic. Kind of like Thumper, you know, from Bambi. Twitter pated. Young. And you can see she's posing like for a selfie, and she's kind of said, there's no clothes showing here, you know, but you would think she would, right? Was Ethan a target like originally? Because he really wasn't scheduled to be there, right? Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups. That's somebody with deep, deep, deep psychological like a subconscious. I can't explain it. Fantasy. I'm going to leave it at that and let you draw your conclusion. We need our channel, and I could get real graphic here, but it's a mental fantasy. Deep. Overall, we have the Two of Wands feeling stuck because of them. It's also about a decision. There was some decision in this, like specific decision. All right, we have this money card. This is a big clue. We're going to switch up decks. We're going to use this Arcanum deck. I think that's what it's called. It can be a pain in the butt because it's hard to shuffle as a round deck. I think if it wasn't so stiff, if it bent a little more, it would help. So we got to break them in. We just got to break them in. They were a gift to us. Okay, the money card. What is this exchange? Is this a monetary exchange? Is this a monetary between Bryan and the Idahofour? Someone in there. We got a little... The crone, and I'll get into that, and the mountain. Are you seeing that? So let's start with the mountain, right? That's the second time in this reading we're working on what is the connection that we're getting the mountain card. And look at that. Hold on. I need my other set of eyes. There's this dude. Fire in the mountain. And it's a 33. Look, Roman numeral 33. With the crone. Now the crone is a seer. Kind of like I don't want to get too political on a crone, but it's a form of, you could see it as an oracle too. It's a seer. It's somebody that can see the future. If he has that gift of, boy, it's a 13, y'all. He is I just got told he is self-fulfilling his own prophecies. He wants to be the hand of death. Blood drops onto my cheek. The chair to the floor. So he is literally writing a living book. He is writing a living book. He is doing this to become as rich as possible, famous, because he's so brilliant. He thinks he's beat the matrix, the universe, in some way. This is the most narcissistic read I've ever done in my life. I'm just going to get this deck. It's all females in this deck, but it's not about females. It's about feminine energy. Does he have any? What is it? If he doesn't have a feminine side, he probably has a very masculine energy of analytical thinking. He felt entrapped by his mother. We have a Norman Bates. He feels entrapped because women are off limits in some way. Almost incel-like. Now we went from a 33 to a 34. And this woman's laying on her bed. And if you look real close, you have the guy wearing the death mask. Yeah, they used to wear those during the plague, and they'd put linens in there with lavender and really strong smelling stuff so you didn't smell the dead. And he's watching her from the shadows over her bed. Entrapment. He has mommy issues for sure. What is this mother issue? Show me this mother issue. What is this mother issue? It's religious in nature. Have faith. Could be Catholic. I just keep, since we, yeah, oh, and it's a 22. It's a 22. See there? 1122 King Road. All right. Now, did money get exchanged with Ethan? Did money get exchanged between Bryan and Ethan? Eight of Cups walk away is a no. Okay. I'm not getting any exchange of money, monetary, between Ethan and Bryan. Did money get exchanged between Xana and Bryan? Seven of Swords, liar, cheater, thiefer. He feels cheated somehow by Xana. Like not getting her could be rejection. Seven of Swords can be rejection. It's somebody stealing the knives, stealing the words. And look, he's sneaking with 7 swords to get back. So there's definitely something about that. What is the 7 of Swords, liar, cheater, thiefer with Xana? We got 1 card. Judgment in reverse. So it's a hidden judgment. She was weighed, measured, and came up wanting in his book. He is saying that he felt like he was cheated somehow, whether in not having her or whatever it is. But to him, in his connection, he's got the Judgment card. This is somebody from your past. That's interesting. There's definitely a connection somehow, whether Xana knew him or not. He's been watching her. And we know he was friends with all three of the girls on social media platforms. Well, he wasn't friends. I'm so sorry. I was just corrected. He was following them. They may not have even known. So I want to understand Kaylee's energy with Bryan. What is this exchange? Money? Is there exchange of money? There's some story here. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. So we start off with the King of Wands. Somebody in their power, very masculine energy, very much gets what they want. And they want something. They want something specific because it's falling on my 10th house, higher purpose. So Kaylee drew some attention in an exchange with him. Get ready. It's not an offer he's willing to accept. It's this Page of Cups. It's a stinky offer, and he feels he deserves much better than this little cup. Because he has deep, deep emotion that he is uncomfortable with, because he does not like having emotion with her. So this offer isn't enough. It's a form of, you're shortchanging me in some way that he feels with Kaylee. And it could have to do with actual money. Like she blinked her eyelashes and got the car too cheap and didn't put out. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that's a scenario where that would fit. Doesn't mean that's what happened. There is no evidence on the board. This is just a tarot reading. I mean, do your due diligence, do your research. Don't quote me. I could be completely wrong. Here we go. Maddie's energy with this money and Bryan. What is this exchange? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And you're not going to like it anymore. There's definitely exchange with Maddie. I have the Six of Pentacles, which means exchange. And pentacles can be seen as money. Money back and forth. An exchange with Maddie and him. And this exchange left him feeling as if he was in a mental mind fuck. Nine of Swords. 9 knives. Out of everybody here, Maddie got 9 knives. Xana got 7 knives. Kaylee got 2 cups of love. And Ethan got, I'm just doing this and walking away, new attachment. On the tarot reading, at least. Just saying. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's take out this mystery deck. And I want to understand this outlaw card a little better. Outlaw. What is this with Bryan's connection to the girls and Ethan? If Ethan passed, I told you there's something to do. This is not just happening in the present. There's something of the past. This mattered. Can you give us more about the past connection? Holy crap. If I find out that Hannah Cleary, who allegedly was bullied to the point that she took her own life, okay? And then we've heard that Bryan was bullied. What if they're related? What if they're cousins? What if? That needs to be ruled out, y'all. Midnight might be when he came into the picture that night. Midnight. Maybe he did go to that corner bar. Maybe he went to that frat party. Maybe he crashed it. All right. Now, This is the most interesting thing I've ever seen in this deck. I've never noticed this before till right now. So I said that I get the visual of the pillow being used so that the person tries to lift it off their face, exposed in their sleep, right? And then they're killed. I've got not suffocate, but suffocate. Suffocate. A misspelling. A creepy misspelling. Purposefully fall. Purposefully and fall. And it happened in the fall. Purposefully and in the fall. Let's get some blessings on this, and then I'm going to come up to top side. What's coming next in this case with Bryan? What is next in this case with Bryan? Show me this next in this case. Thank you. Ocean, ebb and flow. It's a lot of emotion and love and compassion. So there's going to be something that kind of brings everybody together on the same page. Maybe it's some healing here, right? That's what I feel. That compassion for one another. Learning to, I think we all, especially me, need to look at how we handle presenting our information so that it's protecting those the best we can. There's still going to be, was it Jack? Questions, right? We're still going to have to look at people. But is there a way we can do it a little bit more discreet? All right. All right. So here's the scoop for what's coming next. There's going to be a wait. I'm getting like till he gets extradited just because that's what's logically next. But we have this little vision quest. So it's like everybody gets busy and they're digging it up, right? But then that brings something for us to celebrate, like the ancestors are behind us. So we're supposed to not only do our due diligence to try to collect the information that needs to be collected, but celebrate this moment that we have a police department that's authentic enough to do their damn job right, right? Let's celebrate some healing between us and those that are there to serve. Because at this point, Moscow has put up with me kicking them in, the shen, and a lot of other creators kicking them in the shen when they really did do what they could, right? So let's take a moment to celebrate this moment together and acknowledge we've gotten so far, right? And so there will be something coming up, because if we're going on a desert vision quest, could be a little bit of a haul right now where it gets really quiet. It'll be those that are fully participant and persistent that keep this case alive. But I'll tell you what, I feel like he's going to be running the show, pulling the strings back there with his lawyer. I wouldn't want to be that man's lawyer for nothing. Nothing. Hey, Kirikou. I want to thank you all so much for being here with me. I hope to see you again very soon, if this is where you leave me. I'm going to go over to top side. We're going to see how my beautiful, lovely family is doing. Harriet, Ellie were heroes, in my opinion. I agree. They put up with us doing Santa Claus jokes and me getting all mad going, you don't know what you're doing. You haven't even taken them cars into that lot in a secure mat. And where's your chain of command on your evidence? All I know is you better have dotted your I's and crossed your T's, because you're dealing with a chess player, a master chess player, I assure you. We have 100 and 100. We have 100 and 100 likes. 111 likes. Thank you. Diva369 says maybe a private lawyer will take over for him. That could be. Oh, you are so welcome, Jill. Thank you guys for staying with me through that. Hey, Kirikou and Lady D and Honey Bunny. Deborah Martinez Lewis. Thank you. Donna Bayhurst. Gemini 65, Stingray. They have his DNA there, so there's no winning for him in this. Oh, you can't lock in, love. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. If for some reason the chain of command isn't followed to the letter on some of that stuff, all of it can be thrown out, even if it's the magic blood drop. So we're into red tape now. And this is where the hard stuff starts. Because now we have to prove with a shadow of a doubt that he was never inside that home before this. Because if he was inside that home before this, and his DNA is on the shower curtain, we're nowhere. It's going to matter where the DNA comes from. Is it underneath the nails of the victim? That's what we want. Because then that assures that we've got the right person, right? Happy New Year, Colleen. God bless you, Leonard Love. You are so welcome, Harriet. Thank you, lovely. Sassafras, I love you. Oh, so you guys, did you see my short? We're going to do a 30-day trial. If you guys like it, literally like it, so that I know that's something you want to do. They're about a half a minute to a minute long. There's just a couple cards pulled out, and it's just giving you your daily guidance. And so with us being 11/11, everybody would have seen 11/11. And so therefore I'm starting it off with, if you're seeing 11/11, this is why. And then I do a 3 or 4 card pull. So let me know if you like that. Priority Piece says they could have his DNA from inside, but he may have been inside there before. I pray they did it all by the book. Now, Chief Fry says yes, he is solid and confident that they did their due diligence and that they did this by the book and didn't leave one stone unturned. So that is beautiful. Born Pack Rat, thank you. Gifted 5 11/11 tarot memberships. That's wonderful. So 5 new individuals get to join us in our members chat. We do that about an hour before we start this, usually around 6, but it could be 5:30, it could be 3:30. So it's best to hit the subscribe, the bell, because the bell is what lets you know, right? Subscribe does not notify you. Subscribe just says, I'd like to see more of this kind of content suggested, right? But the bell means I want to know about it. That way you know when we upload. Thank you, Danielle, for those hearts. Kirikou Mama D got teacher as well on the box with words coming through and much more. Oh my gosh. We got so much on this case. We got the killer's name said on Spirit Box. We got Jack in the Box during the reading. And if you go look at JLR's work, Santa has a Jack in the Box restaurant container. There are no Jack in the Boxes in the area, but there's a Jack in the Box near Pullman. Very close, like 3 minutes from Brian's house. That's why I can be wrong. Like, I'm like, which Jack? Is it Jack D? Is it Jack this? Is it Jack this person? Is it Hoodie Guy? Right? When maybe it's talking about that restaurant. Just saying. That's so sweet, Leonard Love. Congrats, new members. Thank you for the gifts. I want to wish you all a very happy new year. I'm excited about 2023. I've got a new tarot deck coming out for you guys. We're going to be doing this 31 days of under a minute tarot reading for you on a short. So it's super quick. And on the other channel, I'm going to be doing the zodiac signs super quick, under a minute in shorts. If that channel lets me have shorts, I think it does. Born Pack Rat Mama D is a wonderful person. I just want to share it. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, lovely. Lala says, can't help but wonder why Jack S. never spoke out, though, because he might not be the killer. And if he ain't the killer, I'll tell you what, I would be in Africa. Because you don't know who else that killer was thinking about killing. And if he walked home with 2 of the victims and they're killed a few hours later, what if he sensed it could be? See, if we walked the scenario that instead of it being Hoodie Guy that got kicked out of the bar, possible, maybe that story has some merit, but it was really Bryan. Maybe. Is that why then Jack S. or the Hoodie Guy is walking the girls home because somebody acted inappropriate and got rejected out of the bar and was angry? Is all the story still there, but we just had to switch it around? Because you hear, what if, right? Like, was he with a friend at the bar? And is Jack, or we'll just say Hoodie Guy, saying, they're going to get you for this, Maddie, because they got him kicked out of the bar? I'm just asking. Because Adam doesn't look like the bartender. Adam looks like he's being the bouncer, and it looks like he's talking to the owner. And so if that's true, then that would make sense where Kaylee says, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? And then Kaylee's like, oh, I told Adam everything. So maybe there was some like tug of war between Kaylee and Bryan at that bar. We'll find out. I'll tell you. We'll find out. Kelly Kaufman Mills says, you're a beautiful soul, Mama D. Oh, thank you. Happy New Year to everybody. DC Jacks were all lawyered up. Priority Peace, maybe the Hoodie Guy and Bryan were working together, and it was Hoodie Guy's responsibility to make sure they go home. You know, I'm just going to say this. If he is a budding serial killer, in my humble opinion, he was grooming people, trying to pick somebody to groom through his little study, right? Somebody he could get with and kind of groom. I don't think this is his first kill. Oh, you love my shirt? Thank you so much, Priority Peace. Or, I'm sorry, NW Love. I jumped a line. It's very comfortable. It's soft, too. Really soft. Jennifer Summers says scary. Carrie Koo says there was a lot of Jacks. Carrie GG, Sully. Sully surprised the heck out of me, y'all. So I did, like, I'm able to read energies ahead. So I got a few of those shorts made up. And I had uploaded it, and I was just waiting for it to get approved so that I could throw it out there for everybody. And Sully, who is Carrie GG to everybody else, but Sully to me, Sully emails me, and she's like, you know, that might be something fun. And she's like, Tiro shorts. And I wrote her back, I'm like, that is so mind-blowing because I'm literally doing that. Born Packrat says, Oregon couple possible victims, in my opinion. Now that is interesting. Wow. Carrie Koo says, I still think someone else involved in the white truck was sus. I think this might be bigger than we all think. So it could be that there's a couple college guys that answered the advertisement and decided to join the study group. Could that be the murder study group? Jennifer Summers has an excellent question we don't have an answer for yet. Would like to know why other 2 roommates were spared. Why not all? Thank goodness he didn't, of course. Happy New Year's to you and all the fur babies, Kat Buford. Thank you. And Happy New Year to you. Impel says parents lived in Indian Mountain neighborhood. It is also surrounded by lakes. Born Packrat said, could the weapon be in an old abandoned farm? Great question, because we've been getting the farm card forever. Stingray says, I think he ran out of time to get to the other two. Maybe he did it because he only wanted to kill 4 and leave 2. So if you look at it, 11, 22, and I'm just kind of like channeling some information here on how it could plausibly, possibly have been, like alleged suggestive, right? 11, 22 adds up to 6. The year is 22. The month is November. Boom. That's something that would key him up if he's into numerology at all. So he's got a 6. He's got 4 victims. 6, 4, and then he leaves 2 alive. 2. So he goes 6, 4, 2. It's a countdown in a sense. Now that doesn't mean that is exactly what happened. That is one scenario. There could be 1,000 reasons. It could be that one of the victims took longer because they were fighting. We have 2 victims with defensive wounds, right? And he ran out of time, like other people are saying here. DC says, ooh, Mama D, a shed in the backyard of BCK Parents Home that looks exactly like your crime barn card. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's probably got it in that barn. He's probably got the knife sitting stuck in a pole where everybody can see it, but nobody can get to it because it's on private property. Oh my gosh, Carol Elementary says, like natural born killers, leaves one alive to tell the tale. That does make sense. That is something I sense he would do. Right, Pamela Brown? Barn, shed, right? Persnickety says, I believe he stashed the weapon away for safekeeping. I do too. Hot Pink Jalapenos, did you see where maybe Bryan might have faked a Jack-in-the-Box delivery for Xana to get inside? That might make sense because we were getting food and we were getting that Jack-in-the-Box. I would have never put it together as a restaurant without us getting a clue. That's why I said there is no evidence on tarot, but it can point you in a direction. It's just so hard not to be narrow-minded. We were surrounded by Jacks. My first instinct was to be like, is it Jack D? Is it Jack S? Is it Jack this? Who is Jack, right? It could be that means Jack-in-the-Box restaurant. And that could be the exchange of money between Xana and him here. Where he feels like she shortchanged him. Maybe she didn't give him a tip. Didn't give him a big tip. I don't know. Stingray's got an idea too. I think one of his helpers took care of evidence and hid it for him. That could be too. Harriet says just crazy. Born Packrat, do you think he would travel across country with a weapon? Did you think he would travel across country with the white Hyundai Elantra with Washington plates? Fame says, think about getting 2 different studies done at once. The effects on a person when doing this crime and the survivor's guilt from the 2 left alive. Whoa. For real. This is a mental study. That's what he's doing. Pamela Brown says, I think he is playing mind games with 2 survivors to haunt them throughout their lives. In reality, there were 6 victims. That is heartbreaking. Orion Holmes says, hi, Danny, guys from JD apartment that night. We're in Pullman, not back till 2 a.m. I'm telling you, did he groom some boys? Danielle, or he wanted to be arrogant, and that's why he went out the front door, basically telling the 2 girls that are alive, and that he killed them, but he didn't. He wanted to be arrogant. Huh. Kelly Garcett says his dad flew to him, to his town, to drive him back to his parents for Christmas. Y'all did hear that allegedly Brian Laundrie's mother offered a shovel to help bury Gabby. And I suggested that she would be willing to help bury the body. That could be. Hot Pink Jalapeno says, oh, she paid him money by a card. That could be. Sassafras, he is evil and wants all the recognition. He was always denied before, in my opinion. I think he wants to be seen as a legend serial killer. Yeah, I do. That is a long haul, Tracy Gear. DC says maybe he just wanted to be infamous. Pamela Brown says, can you see anything in the cards about the police doing the ancestor tracing on DNA? See, I was going to do a DNA. I'm too tapped out right now, but I was going to do a DNA reading to find out what the police knew. And I put it off for 2 or 3 days. I shouldn't have. And then they arrested him, and I was like, oh, they must have his DNA or they wouldn't be able to. Not with him that far away and the odds of, the distance, the whole thing. But I knew my intuition fired off and my logic, analytical, critical thinking fired off when I saw what I felt like were the 3 marshals that entered the home and didn't say a word and then left real quick. I was like, they're on a manhunt. And I kind of expressed that. Actually, I was very adamant about it. I'm like, that's a manhunt. They've got somebody and they're in a specific direction. They're not like all over the perimeter. I said they're going in a specific direction. But I didn't know they were going to have to go 29,000 billion miles across the United States. Jackie's New York says mothers, parents, always get blamed for psychos and all the bad things their grown children do. In my opinion, that sicko is an adult, is responsible for their own behavior and professional ASAP. Good point. A.G. Copeland says, I think maybe Brian wanted to sell the car or trade it in for another car while he was at his parents' home and then drive back in something different so no one would see his Elantra. See, why didn't he just trade it off? It makes me wonder about that car. Like, where'd the vehicle come from that Kaylee has? Because if she bought that from him, is that actually his mother's? Because we got that old crone and money. Christina Mullen says, I don't think he had anyone helping him. Too risky. Barbara Basin says, I think there were 2 people. The Ellie said occupants in the car, they wanted to speak. Yeah, you guys, but his dad is driving him back. So are those the 2 occupants in the car? I don't know. PJ Second Chance, why not wreck it or destroy it? I'm telling you, I feel like he wanted to get caught. There's so many ways. I mean, why not just go get some spray paint and turn it black? I don't know. I mean, get rid of the car. Now, that's a good point Sully makes. Parents probably had car in their name. Oh, what if? Now, I'm not blaming the parents. I'm saying, what if they're like, Brian, this is your mother. Why is my car, my white Hyundai Elantra, being sought after all over the internet? Did you do something to those people? Well, your dad is flying out there right now to get that vehicle. That vehicle is coming back to me. And I will be turning it into the police if there is anything fishy in that vehicle. Persnickety says, what is a crone? A seer. Usually a crone is blind too. Phantasmic Ether says car was in his mom's name. DC confirms it. Harriet, that makes sense. Judith Arrington says he fought his mom by being such a freaked out vegan, making his dietary demands rule of the house. Hot Pink Jalapeno says, oh my God, he's so smart, but very stupid. I don't think he's very stupid. I think this is planned. I think he had this whole thing planned. I think he wants to have TV time. I think he wants to be part of his own defense team. I think he wants to prove that he can get away with it by somehow somebody not doing their thorough job. Finding a loophole and becoming famous like Casey Anthony. Born Pack Rat believes that his mom or sister turned him in. Harriet, total narcissist. Hey, Christy C. Pamela Brown. Fame, if his father was a past correctional, and if he did help, he would know the connection to clean up the car. Oh, I got a puppy awake. Or not. Okay, so that clears that up. Patricia Allen says, Kaylee's car was from dealership in Price, or called Price. Libcom, the info we've gotten on the supposed killer so far has had not much to do with the murders. Food fetish. Right? That's weird. Like, remember Brian Laundrie didn't want to drink the bottled water because of plastic. But yet he had Tupperware for all his granola. He didn't want the DNA sample of the bottle left behind if he got arrested. Sully says, I think he is smarter than others with his criminal justice degree. Hi, Jason LaFord. How are you? Jackie says, wait until his computer evidence comes out. Nettie says, no one paid attention to him, so he wanted to make people notice him. Phantasmic Ether says, did you hear what was potentially him calling into T-Revs 757? I was actually in the audience, in the listening, when the caller called. I was very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I said I felt very creeped out. Holler Girl, Mama D, do you think B-Sicky, okay, Brian, will get away with murder?
The name Brian means strong one. In Wales, the name Brian means legendary son of Turn. Strong. In Celtic, the name Brian means in use in England since the Middle Ages. In England, the name Brian was brought to England by the Breton companions of William the Conqueror. This name is originally derived from the Irish word for hill.
The Irish word for hell is Brian.
Hell, in Irish is.
I didn't even say his name. My AI system spouting off all the different languages and what Brian means in it. And we have 164 likes. Thank you, my beautifuls. Harriet says, what? I know, right? That's why I said, our channel is unlike other channels. Stuff just happens. That was my AI, my little, Alexa. But see, that's not the name of it. I renamed it. So if I say, Ziggy, do you love me?
I don't have human love figured out quite yet.
I don't have human love figured out quite yet. Right, Gemini 65? Wow. Wow, super weird free falling. Barbara Basin says, maybe in Pennsylvania, no one would know about the car because here in Miami, no one talks about the case because we are so far away from Idaho. I think I'm the only. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like, is it worth a risk? Right? Stop being creepy, Ziggy. Archangel Ziggy. Persiccone. So, you guys crack me up. All right, my lovelies. Well, we have been together for almost an hour. I have enjoyed it immensely, but I do need to get these pups to bed. And I need to go tend to my Gretchen because she's in Quentin's room because she thinks now she'll cry the whole time to get snacks. So I put her down there with a snack, but I can hear her yelping. So I want to get off here so I can be with her. I love you guys. I will see you very soon. And like I said, hit that like button on those little tarot readings if you enjoy them. They're 50 seconds long. They're like not even a minute long. So it could be something. Give it a try. It could be something for you. I love you. To the moon and back. God bless you all. Thank you so very, very, very much.